All right, welcome back to the Loreverse. So, everyone is obsessing over Peter Parker's new suit and his organic webbing, but you're looking at the wrong hand. While Peter Parker is struggling to keep his humanity, the MCU is quietly pulling the curtain back onto something much bigger. The MCU isn't just introducing mutants anymore, it's doing something far more calculated, and that is it's building a world that is biologically programmed to fear them. And Spider Man Brand New Day is the precise moment the trap springs. This isn't starting with a school in Westchester or a visor wearing leader. It's starting with a high security black site, a government conspiracy, and a young girl who might be the most dangerous unregistered entity the 616 has ever seen, and that is Jean Grey. So, this is your boy, Stevie Hayes. This is the Loreverse, and today what we are talking about is how Spider-Man Brand New Day is secretly setting up the MCU's mutant saga. So let's dive into this. Now, on the surface, Brand New Day is Peter Parker's most isolated story. No MJ, no Ned for now, no Happy Hogan. He's a ghost in his own city, slowly mutating into something primal. But look at the subtext here. The MCU is moving out of the multiverse and into the mutation saga. Just like Iron Man hid the Avengers in its post credits, Brand New Day is planting the seeds of the X-Men in its very DNA. Marvel knows that they can't just drop mutants into a world after 20 years of silence. They have to justify why the public suddenly hates people with powers. And the best way to do that is, show a hero the world loves, which is Spider-Man, turning into a monster right in front of them. So, after Secret Wars, the flashy dimension hopping stakes are going to feel exhausted. Marvel needs to go back to the method, right? Stories about like outcasts, politics within its world, and the world outside your window. And what you have to understand is the X-Men aren't just a team, they are a metaphor for fear. And by using Brand New Day to introduce these concepts, Marvel is making the struggle grounded again. It's not about fighting a purple titan in space. It's about a teenager in a yellow sweater being hunted by the government because her brain works in a different way. And this is the Loreverse theory, right? That is gaining traction here. There is trailer evidence, specifically this girl in this high security ward, which points directly to Sadie Sink playing a young Jean Grey. And this is huge because this isn't a variant from the Fox universe. This is a native, homegrown, possible mutant. And I think it's a variant, but she could be homegrown, whatever. And her presence confirms that the X gene isn't coming through a portal, it's possibly already here. It's dormant in the population and is finally starting to activate in the wake of the blip in the multiverse of chaos. And Jean Grey isn't just a cameo here. She is the patient zero for mutant human relations. Look at the facility in the trailer. It doesn't look like a hospital or a school. It's a DODC black site, and that is Department of Damage Control. And Jean Grey is shown in a yellow sweater and a green jacket. Classic Marvel girl colors. But she's behind reinforced glass. She isn't being taught how to use her gifts. She is being indexed. And this sets the tone for the entire mutant saga. Mutants in the MCU won't be celebrities like the Avengers. They will be biological hazards that need to be contained by the state. And we see already that Jean Grey's powers are active, and they are freaking terrifying. There is a scene where it looks like she is seemingly forcing guards to do things. This isn't just moving things with her mind. This is a telepathic override. And if the public sees a young girl who can literally delete a soldier's free will, the fear isn't just prejudice, it's survival instinct. And this version of Jean is a tactical nightmare. And if she can override a high security lock with and a human mind before she's even 20, the government's anti-mutant stance starts to look justified to the average citizen. We haven't even talked about the DODC yet. They've evolved from a cleanup crew in Homecoming to the super police in Ms. Marvel, and now in Brand New Day, they are effectively the pre-Sentinel task force. They are moving from managing tech to harvesting biology. They aren't just hunting Spider-Man because he's a vigilante yet. They're hunting him because he represents a biological anomaly they can't control. And damage control is the bridge to the Sentinels. They are the ones who will eventually realize the humans aren't fast enough to catch mutants. So they'll build machines that are. And this is often the assumption that when Spider-Man does possibly turn into a spider, whether if that's literally or his eyes turn red and that's it, he will be hunted. And there's a deeper and darker lore layer here, and that is the hand, because rumors suggest that damage control is secretly being infiltrated or funded by an underground organization interested in reanimated or enhanced biology. And if damage control is working with the hand to experiment on Jean Grey, we are looking at a Weapon X style subplot happening right under Peter's nose. And they aren't just containing mutants, they are trying to figure out how to extract the X gene to create their super soldiers. And look, Bruce Banner's cameo in the trailer is the most science lore heavy moment we've had in years. Because when he tells Peter, your DNA is undergoing a dangerous mutation, he's not just talking about the spider bite. Banner is the MCU's foremost expert on mutation. He's the only one who can see the big picture. His warning is the Oppenheimer moment for the MCU. He's realizing that the human genome is no longer stable. The brand new day isn't just a start for Peter, it's the dawn of the mutant age. And honestly, this is the genius of the script here. By having Peter go through a body horror mutation, right? Organic webbing, cocoons, extrasensory overload, Marvel is aligning him with the mutant struggle. Peter is the innocent face of mutation. And if the world turns on Spider-Man because he looks or acts too much like a monster, it makes it 10 times easier for them to turn on a kid like Cyclops or Rogue later. Peter is, the social bridge, the person who will eventually have to decide, does he stand with the pure humans or does he stand with the freaks like Jean Grey? And the MCU is playing the long game with the public perception. If Damage Control can leak footage of a mutated Spider-Man or an out-of-control Jean Grey, they can manufacture a national security crisis. And this is how you get the Mutation Registration Act. It's not an overnight law. It's a response to chaos shown in this movie. And the villains of Brand New Day aren't just fighting Peter. They are branding him as a reason for the public to give up their civil liberties for protection. And look, and they could have started with Wolverine, right? They could have started with Magneto, but they choose Jean. The reason why, I believe, is because Jean is Phoenix, and she represents the absolute peak of power without control. Starting with Jean Grey sends a message to the audience that mutants are the most powerful things in the universe, and we are right to be afraid of them. It sets the stakes at the absolute highest level before we ever see a single X-Men in a uniform. And then finally, we talk about the Sentinel Protocol. If damage control becomes the anti-mutant task force, the natural evolution is the Sentinels. Brand New Day is where we see the prototype mindset, using technology to hunt biology. And the movie sets the stage for a world where Spider Slayers aren't just for Peter Parker anymore. They are for everyone with a dangerous DNA signature. So I see Peter's crash out similar to what the Hulk's crash out was in Avengers Age of Ultron, when he darn near destroyed that whole entire city. Now, let's go deeper into why Jean Grey is the nexus point for the Mutant Saga. In the comics, Jean isn't just a powerful telepath. She is the host of the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity that represents life, death, and rebirth across the multiverse. And if the MCU is using Brand New Day to introduce a 616 native Jean, they are setting up a massive payoff for the end of the multiverse saga. Think about it. Secret Wars is about the collapse of realities. And if Jean Grey's powers are awakening now, it's likely because her psychic mind is a multiversal antenna. She isn't just hearing the thoughts of people in New York, she's feeling the echoes of every Jean Grey who died in every other timeline. This version of Jean might be the only person who actually remembers the world before Secret Wars resets it. She is the connection to the greater mutant story because she is the first flame, the one whose power level is so high it acts as a beacon, drawing other mutants out of hiding and into the light of the MCU. But why put Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie? Why not Captain America or Fantastic Four? And I believe there is a specific narrative reason, and it's shared trauma. In Brand New Day, Peter Parker is the loneliest man on Earth. He has no identity, no family, and no one who knows his name. Jean Grey, locked in that DODC facility, is in the same exact boat. She's the girl with a shattered mind who can't tell the difference between her own thoughts and the screams of the city. And the MCU is positioning Peter and Jean Grey as mirrors of each other. Peter is a science-based mutant who is losing his humanity, and Jean is a genetic mutant who is afraid her humanity will be burned away by her power. And they are the only two people who understand what it's like to be biologically rejected by society. And by putting Jean Grey in Spider-Man's world, Marvel is giving Peter a reason to fight again. He's not just saving a civilian, he's protecting the first person who actually reflects his own struggle. And this isn't just a team-up, it's a survival pact. And if Peter can save Jean from becoming a weapon for damage control, he proves that he can save himself from becoming a monster. So Spider-Man Brand New Day isn't just about a kid in a lonely apartment. It's about the birth of the barricade. It's about the moment the MCU stops being, a world that cheers for heroes and starts being a world that polices them. Jean Grey is in that facility. Peter is in that cocoon, and damage control is at the door. The line between hero and threat is being erased in real time. This isn't just a Spider-Man story. This is a prologue to the X-Men. I hope you guys enjoyed this video talking about how Spider-Man Brand Day is connecting to the greater Mutant Saga. I cannot wait to see this movie and see how they're going to draw a lot of comparisons. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, and peace out.